Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with occasional review. Today's video is going to be changing of the guard. Okay, I thought I would go ahead and change out this plastic cover for my Jibun Techo Days in A5 slim size and try it out in my new Folio, which I haven't done yet, and I'm so excited. I hope everything fits. It should, because I wrote in the notes that that's what I was going to be using this for, which is always a good idea because they will probably let you, I mean, they're really good about letting you know immediately that that is not what that's for, or that that's not going to fit. I did not get that, so I think we're going to be good. And also, when you buy an A5 slim, it says directly on there for the Jibun Techo A5 Slim. Also, when you buy an A5 Slim from Sojourner, sorry, I forgot to introduce this guy. This is my A5 Slim Eben leather, and this is the Folio, right? And it's so beautiful. And this is Eben ×3. So the Folio is actually made out of that leather. The pocket's made out of that leather and the inside pocket. So that's what the ×3 means. I did add a closure for $10 more. And I made it red because I like that pop of color. If I don't like it later, I can always change it out for something that's a little bit more matchy-matchy or even a different pop of color. It's always a good idea, if you cannot find where to add a closure for $10 more, to write it in the notes, because that's what I did, because I wasn't sure how that was going to work until I saw the video later that kind of talks about it, which I will, after I already purchased them, I will link it down below. And so when you put that in the notes, it's a good idea, because then they will contact you, which is what they did to me. They emailed me and they said, it's $10 more, excuse me, is that okay? And it will be through PayPal. And I was like, absolutely. And it was speedy quick. So always cover your bases. So here we have my A5 Slim Jibun Techo Days, and I have, of course, the planner itself, which is like an Eben version in the way that you have 6 months in one book and 6 months in another. So this one started in January of 2022, in case you're watching this in the future, and ends in June of 2022, as you can see there. So I also have 2 idea notebooks. One is my long-terms notebook and one is my short-term here in the front. So I'm going to take this stuff out, put it in here, and see how it goes. Now remember my back notebook, idea notebook, I trimmed down, which you can always do, because I wanted to fit this inside of, I don't have it near me, that's what I'm looking for, my bullet journal edition 2. I just wanted to put it in the back there because there is this little gap in the edition bullet journal 2 where they have a little booklet of their own. In the first edition, they had like a whole introduction to the bullet journal and it took up some of the pages. So instead of doing that, it's a removable booklet like this. And so this was a little bit too tall. I cut it down and it fits nicey nice in there with no worries. So take this guy out. So the actual cover worked really, really well, except something that I did myself. This wasn't actually the cover's fault. I ended up tearing it and I had to, see if it'll focus. I had to tape it right there. So basically it was on my desk with everything in it, and I went to pull it up and it wasn't moving, and I thought, is it stuck or something? What's happening? Is like there's something sticky on the bottom. So I pulled it and didn't look at the back and I tore it. So it was like stuck on something. Which was my bad, but this has held up quite well. We are already in May of 2022, so it's been months, and for plastic, it's still great. This was absolutely my fault. Okay, so I'm getting pretty nasally here. Like I can hear it in my voice, and my nose is just, ugh, allergies are so bad. But we're gonna get through this video. So I really like this color. I think the other half is like a peachy color. I have it on the shelf somewhere up, and I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with this planner for the rest of 2022 since it is cut in half. I thought maybe I would either gift it or sell it to someone else, just because I don't know if I wanted to continue with this, but I ended up buying the A5 Slim no matter what, just because I do love the Moleskine, which I will grab one off the shelf and try in here, because it is almost identical to the size within a few like millimeters either way. Okay, so first we're going to put this guy in. And you can do this however you want. If you only want to put the front cover in and see it like this, or the back cover and see the front like this, you can do that. But I just feel like it's a little bit more sturdy and adds a little more structure if you put this whole cover inside. And then of course these books are slightly, they're not as tall, so they fit nicey nice in here. It's like a little nook for them to sit within the cover like this. So going from a plastic folio situation to a gorgeous leather situation. And again, this is the Eben leather, and it is more of a cream color. I think in pictures it can look slightly gray. Also, you can call it like light beige if you wish. Terrible with colors. I don't know why. I'm not colorblind. I don't know. Like, people will be like, oh, this is 6 different colors of blue. And I'm like, yeah, it's blue. You know, that's just who I am as a person. You also let me know down below. Hopefully the lighting is okay, that it just speaks for itself, and you can tell just by looking. Okay, the more brown undertones, which I mentioned before, that there are, the darker the leather looks. Okay, so that is in there, and this is how it looks if you decide not to have any other books with it at all. It fits really nice. It's a very slim, which I appreciate. I will say that when you put this on, there is potential for this to dig into the leather because it is so very soft. I wanted the closure in case I took this on the go with me, which I don't think will happen too often. So I feel like when I'm at home, I'll just keep the closure off. But I appreciate that I have it when I need it. Also, it will hold my pen on the go as well. Okay, that looks really nice. Also, there's some space because you have these like little mini tabs. These are actually the Jibun Techo Biz, I believe. The other ones are colored. I like the more monochrome colors. Those are hidden also. They don't stick out at all. This is just my page flag that I can pull back a little bit more if I wanted to. So that's nice that it kind of protects those a little bit from the edge. I did redecorate this. This is where I was keeping sticky notes, but I was over that. Okay, so in the front, I put my short-term notebook. Just slide it in here. And I'm loving that this fits nicely because these are a little bit, sometimes these tend to be a little bit taller than most A5 books. Oops, excuse me. That is true of the Jibun Techo B6 Slim. I find that this is, the brand itself is a little bit taller than other, whoops, we're out of focus. B6 notebooks, B6 Slim notebooks, excuse me. Okay, so there's that. Man, that looks nice. Oh, I love it. So you got a nice amount of edge right there too. So even though these are taller books, there's plenty of edge all the way around. They're not sticking out or anything. I like the way my tabs look too. I like to be able to see them without having to, like if you open this, obviously you're going to see them, but I like that I can see them even though it's not open. But certainly these are just post-it tabs, so I can move them down if I wanted them to be more protected as well. But that looks really good, you guys. And so this is pretty funny. You know, you can see the bump there. Sometimes you have to pull it because it kind of gets stuck on the notebook. So now that bump goes away. I noticed that with my brown spec one when I did it yesterday. That is beautiful. Oh my gosh, I am very excited about this. So again, you do have these really cool pockets here. 1, 2, 3 business pockets. And then you have a slit here, which I usually put my Jibun Techo stencils in here. Not that I really use them, but I like to keep them around. Sometimes I do when I number the pages. That's pretty much all that I use them for. I forget they're there a lot of times. This does have a pen loop. You can see that mine's flat. I didn't use it because it was kind of odd, and I felt like my pen would just like sort of bounce around all the time. Like when I would open it and I have a pen in there like this, it would just go bam and it would hit the table, and I was like, what's going on there? So I never used it anyway. You have this pocket, so you can always put your stencils there. You can put pens. I'm so scared. I feel like I should have wiped my pens down. That's my other concern about this leather. It's gorgeous. I highly recommend it. But again, it's very, very soft. So you're going to get these indentions. You can see that one happening already right there maybe from the closure, but also I'm really scared about the color in the way of what if I put it down on something or I have a pen open in my bag and it marks it. I never have to worry about that when I have a black pen, a black notebook, because it doesn't show up. You do have to concern yourself with like the mark that a pen will leave, like the indention or the tear, but now I'm concerned about the color, and it's so gorgeous that I'm pretty good about wiping things down where I put stuff, but that's a little bit scary, and I just want you guys to know that that's always the case when you get a lighter leather. There's concerns about that, especially if you're a coffee drinker. I've seen a lot of videos. I'm not a coffee drinker. I drink tea occasionally, but I have seen videos where people have spilled coffee or something and they have like this little mark on their notebooks and they talk about it. So just be aware that this is a very, very light leather, and it's going to show marks and spottage if you put it down in the wrong place on something. Also, you can go ahead and put your pen here as well. This seems like the perfect elastic that I don't need to tighten it at all, which is great. So that can sit in there like that. I do have my beautiful white pen, and I left it in the other room, so we'll have to see that probably when I go through this in my main setup video. But my new white friction pen, this is exactly why I bought that, because I feel like this is fine, but the contrast is a little harsh. Does that make sense? Maybe people don't care, and I'm happy that you guys don't care. You don't want to live in my world. It's a hot mess. All right, the other thing is I wanted to see, this is one that I've cut down myself. I mean, it should be about exactly the same size as a standard traveler's notebook insert, but that actually does fit in here. So I like this because it allows me to use two different sizes of inserts or notebooks. So I can carry this one if, it's not finished and I don't want to use a traveler's notebook because I wanted to move into here. I can add this into it. And this is fairly thin. This is Tomoe River paper. I think that this was from, what is it called? Paper Penguin Co. Sometimes I say that backwards. And I think this was like one of those huge ones that was like 160 pages. And I divided it up into smaller inserts so I could get through them quicker. Okay, I do have, this is a B6 Slim Idea notebook. So same company, Kokyo. And this also fits in here nicely. So if you just wanted a smaller notebook with littler things, you can certainly do that, which I think is pretty awesome. That looks really, really nice. I love it. And this is a very stretchy leather. So I imagine that if you leave something like this in there long enough, there might be a little bit of an kind of show that after it's taken out. So just be aware of that. I don't think I would mind that at all, but this looks really nice. I like that a lot. So that's great. I don't think you can fit anything bigger or wider than this in here, but certainly smaller. I do. So this is a Moleskine pocket-sized notebook. So these would fit in a pocket traveler's notebook or Field Notes traveler's notebook. That fits in there nicely as well. So if you just have like a smaller notebook, like me, I'm a writer, so sometimes I'll have a smaller notebook just to write in. You can still carry that with everything else if you wanted to, which is really nice. This is really pretty. And of course you have these pockets. I don't actually have, of course, my wallet near me because I was going to try out a business card in here, but these are page flags because you might not use this as a wallet, but your page flags will certainly fit in there just fine. There is no place to put this, but I do have, I don't know why it's not in here. Sometimes it bothers me and I take it out. But I do have a plastic zippy pouch that has a flat flap that goes in the back. So maybe I'll find that the next time I show you my May setup, where I can put these things in there. But you know, you can always put it in the back like that too. Huh, that's weird. I wonder where that is. It just ran away or something. Yeah, so that is how this baby looks. Oh, I forgot. I said I would do a Moleskine really quickly. So I'm gonna go grab that and I'll be right back. Okay, so here I have the Moleskine that I used for most of this year for 2022, end of 2021. This is a soft cover Moleskine. This is what I tend to find at my Ross's or TJ Maxx on sale all the time, which I appreciate, so I grab them whenever I can find them for very cheap. And then of course this is a hardcover Moleskine, and it also is the fabric cover one, so that might add a little bit of resistance pushing it into here. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if I have a Moleskine over there on the shelf that doesn't have this beautiful cover that I probably wouldn't want to cover up, but just for those people who are interested in the difference and how they would fit, let's check it out. Okay, and again, oh, you probably can't see, maybe if I do the bottom part. For those who are interested, these are almost exactly the same. This is a little bit wider just because it is a hard cover, but the soft cover, they're nearly identical in size. As you can see, it disappears underneath. Hopefully I'm in frame. Okay, so let's see. There is a back pocket on this and a closure, so that might also add a little resistance putting it in here, but just to get it done and try it out for you guys, let's do it. Oh, it feels like there's plenty of room. Okay, got it in there. Okay. So that is how it looks if you have a soft cover from the sides. This is bending a little bit, but I bet you could just yeah, bend it back and it's fine. Sometimes I like that clamshell look. I don't like when the points, the tips rather point out, so you can kind of mold them, which is nice. The ribbon there, that looks great. Okay, put the elastic on there, and there you go. So it does fit the soft covers, absolutely, even though there's that gusseted pocket in the back, and of course the closure fits in there with no problems. Again, you can see that pinching kind of happening. You could probably add another Moleskine notebook here, and here the I have one, hold on. So here we have these ones. These are just you can get them in a set of 3. Did they say it? Moleskine there. And these are in the large size, which are the same size as this notebook, if I didn't mention that, is a large. So you can put this in here. Adds a little bit of bend, but not too bad. Still works. And then you can put one in the back. I can't remember, I think these might be like 80 pages, and then this one of course says 192 for the soft cover. That's different. With the hard cover you get more pages in the Moleskine, and that is true of the Leuchtturm as well. Okay, and there you go. So that looks good, works well. So for me, if I wanted to keep a Moleskine as a bullet journal and then I wanted one separately for writing or for the house or something else, just for long-term or short-term notes, this would work out. And you wouldn't have to pay about the $50 for this. It would be all bullet journal style, which is nice. You can certainly do something like that. And again, this is the A5 Slim folio size, which will fit the Moleskines as well as the Jibun Techos in them in A5 Slim, or what they call large notebooks. So that works great, and you can still put something in the front here. Okay, let's try the hardcover. Okay, so again, this has a, take this off. Material on the outside, a gusseted pocket, hardcover, as well as this closure. So we'll see how this reacts to being pushed in to the long pocket. Okay, like a glove. If you know what movie that's from, you're awesome. There is a lot of space here. So I feel like my tabs would be protected. Not so much space that it seems like the notebook is dwarfed or not meant for this, but enough that I could certainly tab this up if I wanted to, on the top as well as the bottom, and it would be okay and protected. That is so nice. Hardcover in there. There was a little bit more resistance, clearly because it is a hardcover, as well as the fact that there is fabric on this one, but it fits in there nicely. No worries. I didn't feel like I was scared that I was stretching or ripping the leather or the stitching, because that's a concern. Worked out really well. And again, this is the, I don't know how many are in here. 240 pages with the hardcovers. And in case you were wondering, because I always just call them the large notebook by Moleskine, those are the dimensions. So it's just like the standard one that's A5 in height, but a little bit more narrow in the width, which I love because I feel like sometimes the look term is a little bit wider. So I prefer to do days in something like this because I feel like when I do it in the look term, which is wider, I have to put stickers there because my writing doesn't really reach across that way. If I do like a day across instead of just breaking it in half. Does that make sense? I'll show you in another video because I think at some point I'm going to do a bullet journal in this gorgeous notebook. I'll take this off. Okay, so that is it for the things that I wanted to try out to use in here, which were my Moleskine notebooks and my A5 Slim Jibun Techo. They all worked out really well. It's a gorgeous leather, as you can see. No harm, no foul, which is great. You never want to feel like you're pushing in a notebook that's going to tear the leather or, again, mess up the stitching. So I am pretty confident that this is going to work out for me. I'm excited. What do you guys think about this? Is this something that you would be considering to buy for your Jibun Techo or for your Moleskines? I'm a Moleskine girl, just because I don't know, something about the paper. I know that it ghosts like crazy and that there's a ton of bleed through, but not with the pens that I tend to use. It's just a simple notebook that I love that I can find pretty inexpensive, but it's a higher quality than just like, you know, a regular, you know, Target notebook, which is pretty funny because you can find these at Target now. I've been seeing them recently. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.